How to Murder Your Husband writer goes on trial for allegedly killing spouse. And to be frank, this is like allegedly, if she did this, one of the worst ways to try to make money, period. So let's get right into the story. An Oregon romance novelist who once penned an essay titled How to Murder Your Husband will face trial on Monday for allegedly shooting dead her spouse for a $1.5 million life insurance payout. Nancy Crampton Brophy, now 71, has pleaded not guilty to gunning down her husband of 25 years, Daniel Brophy, in Portland in June 2018. Daniel was found with gunshot wounds to his back and chest at the Oregon Culinary Institute, where he taught shortly after arriving for work, local outlet KGW8 reported. Crampton Brophy, who told police she was at the couple's home when the shooting unfolded, was arrested months later after detectives said she had been in the vicinity of the crime scene. And here's the thing, like this is one of the saddest things that I've ever seen. And recently I've been like binge listening to Mr. Ballin's true crime basically podcast, right? Like not his like YouTube channel, which he has like an amazing YouTube channel, but like his podcast. And it's honestly depressing, right? Like because some of the stories you see the immense betrayal that family members or like people who have like loved ones just basically quite literally backstabbed or buried their loved ones alive. Like it's crazy. And for like the stupidest reasons, for the smallest amount of money. Like it's like, wow. Like there are better ways to make money. There are smarter ways to make money. Why do you think like how are you okay with yourself not just, causing harm to another person, but betraying someone that loves you and you love them? Like, it's mind blowing. Absolutely mind blowing. So at the time, Daniel Slane, Crampton Brophy, broke the news to loved ones on Facebook, writing, For my Facebook friends and family, I have sad news to relate. My husband and best friend, Chef Dan Brophy, was killed yesterday morning. She added, For those of you who are close to me and feel this deserved a phone call, you are right. But I'm struggling to make sense of everything right now. Days after the shooting, Crampton Brophy had allegedly also asked cops to provide her with a letter saying she wasn't a suspect in her husband's murder so she could collect on his life insurance policy worth $40,000. And according to court documents, authorities later learned Crampton Brophy stood to gain $1.5 million from her husband's death. Which, by the way, like just think about this, right? Like this paragraph right here. Days after the shooting, she had allegedly asked for a letter proving that she wasn't, you know, a potential suspect, right? And just saying, that kind of raised a lot of red, flags that, like, maybe we need to pay attention to her a little bit more, right? So, How to Murder Your Husband by Nancy Brophy. This is apparently an article that she basically wrote. As a romantic suspense writer, I spend a lot of time thinking about murder and consequently about police procedure. After all, if the murder is supposed to set me free, I certainly don't want to spend any time in jail. And let me say clearly, for the record, I don't like jumpsuits and orange isn't my color. Motives. Number one, financial. This is big, aka foreshadowing. Divorce is expensive, and do you really want to split your possessions? Or if you married for money, aren't you entitled to all of it? The drawback is the police aren't stupid. They are looking at you first, so you have to be organized, ruthless, and very clever. Husbands have disappeared from cruise ships before. Why not yours? 2. Lying, cheating, bastard. Deception of any sort. This is a crime of passion. In anger, you bash his head in or stab him with a kitchen knife. Most of the time, there is a trail that leads directly to you. Each type of murder leaves clues. A crime of passion does not look like a stranger was involved, and who is left to clean the blood from your carpeting? And number 3, fell in love with someone else. Usually, financial is also involved here. Like, it's just crazy, right? So let's see. Detectives determined that the couple had been living paycheck to paycheck at the time, which kind of goes to show like they probably also had a lot of debt, they probably had a lot of bills, all that kind of stuff. So maybe completely avoid this scenario in your own personal life by going to 40inbox.com and getting out of debt. So Crampton Brophy was once a prolific novelist with book titles such as Hell in the Heart and The Wrong Husband to her name. She also penned an essay in 2011 titled How to Murder Your Husband, which I just read. Bum, 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 bum. It is easier to wish people dead than to actually kill them, but the thing I know about murder is that every one of us have it in him or her when pushed far enough, she added. And Crampton Brophy is charged with murder and unlawful use of a firearm. And here's the thing, there's like a lot of ways to actually like view this, right? But the reality is that there's a lot of foreshadowing in this situation. It's truly depressing to see someone who has been married for decades literally betraying the person that they've been together with. Now, here's the thing, I don't know what happened in their relationship. Really, the only people that are going to end up knowing is the prosecutor, defense attorney, and all that kind of stuff, right? It's just allegedly, because this hasn't been proven yet, right? But if this is the case, it's just sad to see, right? It's like, how little does it take for you to betray someone that you have been married to for decades, right? Like, what is your price to betray someone that you care about or that cared about you, at least at some point in your life, right? I mean, they've been together for decades, for over 20 years. And she was like, yeah, I'm going to kill my husband for a life insurance policy. Again, allegedly, but still, I mean, again, from like listening to Mr. Bullen's podcast, people betray loved ones for the dumbest reasons. And there's people who are capable of some of the most cruel acts to the people that they love that is honestly depressing, right? So, either way, this is why whoever you marry is the most important decision that you'll probably ever make in terms of like financially and apparently also health wise as well. If you want to learn how to get a debt, go to 40inbox.com.